Oh, hello, friends. Here's my podcast. This is it. It can't be too much. I gotta be comfortable. I had to do a few reps, get myself ready. So, first, hello, my name's Paul Smith. I'm 53 years old. I'm a Desert Storm veteran, Philadelphia native, Midwest dweller, company starter, and company builder. Uh, Father, depends on who you ask. Uh, and very, very, very independent leaning uh, individual. And I am here on a podcast running my fucking mouth because I was just inspired to. I'm just tired of a lot of things, like most people do when they get to this age. You know what? I used to see people in their 50s when I was much younger, and I understand their angst because I'm there. So let's get to the origin of this podcast. It starts in 1993. That's the year I came home from the Navy. Came home to Philadelphia after traveling the world, going to Dubai. I was there at Desert Storm, yada, yada, yada. I come home. It's 1993. I left in 1989, and I thought all of these things were going to be different when I got back. And you know what? Shit hadn't changed. Just the people that I knew were a little older. So I stayed there from 1993, about 25 years till 26 years, 2019. And a lot of the emphasis of this podcast is based on just my experiences and my feelings about those experiences moving forward. Uh, and let me tackle the first thing. The first thing is this concept of adult villages. And I can just tell you from based on my experience on what I believe adult villages are, they're generally based on people who are local to the area and never left. So they have this attachment to the city and all things related to that city. That could be where I grew up. That could be actually anywhere. I've lived 10 different places, and all of these cities have the same kind of characteristics. Uh, and within adult villages comes weird rules and weird things, and being an adult village requires a level of just weirdo discipline and not just having a weird kind of scale of morality. You know what friend number one is doing is okay, but if friend number four was doing it, it wouldn't be okay. If friend number three is cheating on his wife and you see his wife all the time, it puts you in a weird situation. Uh, and you know what? You put those people in a weird situation because my role in all of that stuff when I was deep in the adult village world was expecting things out of people. And then when you don't get that, you don't stay there. You actually go to their level. And that's what I did. A lot of people will do that to fit in. And it's just not cool. And I felt dirty. Because if you actually have a conscience, I don't know it's about soul or anything. I just think about doing right for people. If you have a conscience, that shit will wear at you. If you don't, and if you're okay with fucking people over all the time, adult villages are great for you because that's easy fodder for vulnerable people who are going to give you things that you're generally going to use against them. Because that's what happens in adult villages. Uh, in reality, this weirdo fascination with proximity to other adults to this level, once you get a certain age, is kind of odd. It really is. I mean, you can't have that weirdo kind of intrusion in your life because your life is your life to make it what it is. And even though I'm not a conservative by any means, I do understand why that family structure is possible. It doesn't even have to be man, woman, all that nonsense. Just you, your partner, your children, your house. You need to take care of those things first. And you can't do that. We can only be spread but so far and long. And if you're putting all of your energies in other places, something is going to suffer. We're not as We can't be everything for everybody. And you also have to take time for yourself. You do. You have to work out. You have to meditate. You have to eat well. You can't do all of these things being at other things, other people's things and all of that. Like the one thing I'm never gonna get is a weirdo text from a bunch of people saying my birthday's next week and here's what we're doing. Are you fucking kidding me? No, it's your birthday. It's got nothing to do with us. I just had a birthday. You know what? One person who cares about me took me out. That's what happened. Nobody else was required to do anything else. But when you're in an adult circle, there's this weirdo shit where you have to. And then it's like you're keeping score and everybody has to be at certain things. And and who, why would I hold myself accountable to another adult? Why would I hold myself accountable to anybody but myself? So it's just all ridiculous. And really, it's just fertile ground. And y'all guys know it. It's fertile ground for opportunists, manipulators, and people who enjoy taking advantage of one another. I did all of that. It happens. And it's okay to say you did it, and it's okay to talk about it and put it out in the ether so others may learn from it. I don't give a fuck who I offend. I think y'all guys know that by now. So, that's my little spiel on adult villages. Next, congrats to the Chiefs for winning the Super Bowl. And I'm equal parts kind of disappointed that all of you miserable people who hate seeing Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift on TV, we don't get another week of that. I mean, you guys are so miserable and you don't even know it. But on the other end, I don't get to hear you guys whining about it, especially the passive aggressive ones when you try to talk about anything but them. You know, you don't have to say anything, but you had to say something, didn't you? It's so funny. That should really prompt a real self-examination, folks, of everybody. First, why something like that has that type of effect on you in a negative regards. And listen, I'm going to say what your friends aren't going to say. You spent too much time being offended by it. You did. You did. Even those little lame thoughts, even your little Mike Kelsey is better. Like, this is so stupid. It is. You're literally paying them the attention you swear you're not giving them. So it's just, it's funny. It really is. And then the dynamics around Taylor Swift, and the dynamics around Travis Kelce. And Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, what they have in common is that they were getting it from both the left and the right for different reasons. Because jealousy does not pick a voting booth. Never has. I wish them well. And well means whatever happens next for them. See, now y'all gonna put them on some other scale, right? Get married. They don't, nope. They can stop dating tomorrow and still be successful. Especially compared to yours lives. Yeah. So, last thing I want to touch on, real quick, and it's one of my favorites. Frat culture. Yep, you guys. I'm going to say it again on YouTube because I've said it on TikTok. The dynamics around your whole organizational structure and the humiliation-based initiation contexts that involve hazing that make absolutely no sense to me. And then when you dabble in the rampant homophobia mixed in with odd hazing rituals based around the genitals, it's just confusing. It really is. You know, even though I think being homophobic is stupid, as dumb as being racist, at least it's a rock to die on. Like, you're just there. You're there on your homophobic rock. How do you then do stuff that's you call distasteful, and like you're literally doing these things? So that odd fascination, and then the whole like all male situation. Like, I've been in the Navy. I've been on a ship with hundreds of men. I hated every minute of it. It was awful. It smelled like feet, ass, and armpits everywhere. Uh, Men aren't as better as women in hygiene. Uh, they like to talk with food floating in their mouth. Uh, like I don't. I mean, and again, I'm talking about heterosexual slash homophobic men. I understand why gay men want to be around men like men. But the guys that swear they're knee deep in vagina, uh, and that's all they talk about now. But it's this odd fascination with getting men naked, and especially down there and all of that. And don't say that stuff doesn't happen. I mean, don't. Google works. There's hazing rituals. There's hazing scandals. I'm sorry, hazing scandals as recent as 2 years ago. So yeah, I don't understand the weird fascination, the herding mentality. Uh, Also, when I was in the Navy in the early 20s, I would go to these parties in Georgetown. And when the frat guys came in, it was like the room turned violent. Like, why? I'm looking around like, don't all of you guys pay tuition? Why? Why is everybody tough here? So I never understood that. Uh, the rampant colorism, definitely. Uh, I guess because of the hue of my skin, I was always touted as one of those, you know, fraternities. Uh, like again, I don't get it. And then, you know, I just it's we were a culture that was against segregation, and isn't that segregation? There's also a lot of classism. We know that. Uh, Back when I lived east, and all of the frat boys and sorority types thought I went to college, or they just thought I was one of their equals. I don't know why, but they would talk about their degrees, and they would always pivot themselves above the working man. They did. I know they smile in your face when they ask you to pay for their stuff and do their raffles and go on their trips and come to their houses, but y'all do know they inherently believe that they're better than you. I don't think that they're better than you. I mean, they're not. I mean, they're just us with student loans. But there is an inherent belief within those fraternities and their sororities. They say it in their words. Elite. Again, Google works. Go look at their bylaws. It's all based around elevation. Okay, above what? So there's that. And then there's the whole, patriarchal, matriarchal, whatever system of enablement where, the husbands or the wives can be problematic. And remember, the same group of people, if working folks were doing the same stuff, it would be looked at a different way. When what's the difference? A cheater's a cheater, whether they got a degree or a GED. What difference does it make? So I just walked around and I saw that whole weird dynamic. And then I realized we started getting in our 40s, and I started looking around and I'm like, guys, you're off the quad now or whatever it is. And isn't the dancing and all that bullshit supposed to stop now? Aren't we all grown-ups? But with some, not all. I know some fellas that are very health oriented, very civic minded. Those guys, good dudes. But you gotta look at your shit as a whole. Stop asking everybody else. Stop asking the police. Stop asking the government. Stop asking everybody until you look at yourself. Because I ask everybody, including myself, to take an entire look. So for all of the greatness and all of the great things, what about those things? What about cleaning those things up? When you ask the police to clean up, which they should, absolutely. That percentage of cops that are no good, that are racist, get them out. So those percentages of cheaters and philanderers and guys that are spreading STDs and women that are enabling this and yeah, we got to do something about that. Like when you don't just throw the other woman out and make her. That sounds like stuff from a novel. You know, man's cheating on wife, he get mad at the other woman, and she gets on a bus out of town bullshit. Like, it's got to be a true accountability. Or what is your organization about? Or y'all just, this is a hard conversation to have. Or you just going to close ranks like the churches do and like the networks do. And are you going to do that? Or are you going to have an honest conversation about what you do? Because you can't stop me from talking. I'm going to keep talking. So there you go. So there's my 15 minutes of fame. So to recap, I told you why I was on here. Did a little bit about the Super Bowl. Crushed on frats a little bit. And now I'm going to turn this off. Goodbye. How's my neck look? Huh? Good? I'm getting old too, right? Good, all right.